Hi everyone, Omeza here. This is the second video that all of you had been waiting for. Today I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful tooltip that will show more detail about our regional manager. Here is our regional manager we have right here. Every single time we hover any of this image, it shows us more detail. But if we hover out of the image, what happens? This particular tooltip gets to disappear. Just what we have right here, I hover over this Amir thread. Now when I actually have hover out, it disappeared. We can actually see how awesome this could look like. You can actually feel like, okay, you want to compare this particular sales regional manager to this particular sales regional manager, you turn the two of them out. So now you can come and play the filter on it by actually coming to the date aspect right here where you actually place a particular year on it. So right now you see the year selected is going to be actually right here, and everything gets to filter dynamically. Now can you look at that? That is cool. I can turn it off. So now we have this particular aspect where we have to show more detail about our category. So the category we are showing right now is the technology category. We're showing it based on year, based on a monthly basis, and as well based on the product level on this particular category. So when we hover over it, it disappears. We don't need to click anything. Now we want to see the fashion aspect. Where you actually hover over the fashion aspect, here we go. Now it's gone. So this is exactly what it is that you need to know about this particular Excel dashboard. Now let us go ahead and show you how I actually created this tooltip and all of that. It's very simple and easy to be created. So we're gonna hit the right workbook. So here we go. So this is the right workbook. Already I have just gotten this analyzed for you, and it is very simple to be created, which you must have known how to do. So now it's just for you to actually summarize your data using this particular data source right here. Summarize the data and actually analyze it the way you really want it to go, and actually have this chart being created just like what I have right here. So right now what I'm going to concern myself about right now to keep the video short is to show you how to actually do this. If you are here for the first time and you're new with pivot table and stuff like that, I have tons of tutorial that explain more detail about pivot table that you can actually take a look at. So right now if you look at this, it's just a shape, and as well I have some analysis inside its shape that I want to actually place right here. Every single time I hover over here, I want it to show, and if I hover out of this particular image, I want to disappear. So right now the image had been named, so let us see what name we have for this particular image. So I'm going to go to layout, I presume. Yeah, I'm going to go to the selection point right here. Now have it clicked, and you can see the name is actually William Panel. So if I just on this particular I turn it off, is off. If I turn it on, is on, and all of that. So this is exactly what we want to do. But we want to make it much dynamic, not manual as what we have right now. So right now I'm going to actually have to make sure I copy this name from here right now. So I'm going to copy this name away from here. So if I have the name copied away from here, I can actually turn this off for now. Now that I have this turned off, so if you actually want to actually avail yourself the opportunity of taking a look at the first video we actually created to that will make us to arrive at this particular aspect right here, you can click on the link below and watch the first video that actually help us to generate this particular aspect of the dashboard, the background, the analysis we made and stuff like that. So we have it completed in the previous video, but right now I'm going to show you how to do the tooltip right here. Okay, first of all, what I want to do right now, I'm going to click at the top level, and here we go. We're going to go to developer tab. If you can't see a developer tab, click on any of this particular one right here. It could be view, it could be review or data. Just right click on it. Once you right click, you're going to see this. Go to your customized ribbon, and you have your customized ribbon right here just like this. You're gonna see a developer tab that you'll be looking for now right here. Here's the developer tab. It's gonna be unchecked, so just check it and hit OK. There you're gonna have it right. So now let me show you something before we go ahead and do something crazy. So this is what we're gonna do. So just go to the top level and click on developer tab. So once you hit the developer tab, just go to insert, and from insert just gonna actually insert this particular which is a label active X control. Just click on it, you're gonna see this cross. So now this is where we want to hover on and actually have our word and have our chart to show, or our tooltip to show. I'm gonna actually make sure I give this particular aspect exactly something like this. So now I have something like this. So we don't want to actually show this particular wide aspect of it, so I want to make sure we hide it. So what we can do, click on this property, and now that we have property, we want to disable the label we have right here. We don't want it. That's exactly what it is. So right now you have to come right here and select transparent. So there is more way to do this. So if you don't want to do that, just make sure if it is like this, what you need to do is just to double click on this and you have it hidden like this. So it's still here, but we don't want it for now. We actually make it transparent. So I'm going to come back to this again and do something. So right now that we have this, the next we're going to do is just for we to click on click on the same developer and go to Visual Basics. So if you look at this is the previous one written, so we don't want to work on this particular aspect right here. So now we can actually go and say, okay, now this is the workbook we are working on. This is the previous workbook. Just right click any of the workbook and go to insert and insert a module. So now we're inserting a new module, so we can start right now our code right here freshly without any further ado. Let's go there. So right now what we can do right now, I'm going to say sub. So this sub is gonna be this. I'm gonna drop this and I'm gonna actually delete this away from here, and I'm gonna put underscore show underscore tool, okay, tooltip, short tooltip, exactly, William short tooltip, which means it's for William. So when it gets to that of when it gets to capillary static, so we can actually still use the name of this particular sales regional manager to do it. I'm going to show you why we are doing this. Now once we actually say sub and actually go right here, now it gives us under end sub. So what this end sub is doing right now is this: it's actually marking the territory of this particular regional manager, that whatever is in right here is only going to be effective to this particular regional manager. It has nothing to do with this particular regional manager or this artist. So right now the next thing I'm going to do right now is going to be this with active sheet. So I'm going to say end with. So right now what we are trying to do right now is this with active sheet, which means the present sheet we are into right now, so that if we want to actually use this on other sheet, we can actually use that. That is why we don't want to actually name the particular sheet we are into right now. Instead, we are going to be using it with active sheet, which means we can still use the same code in other sheet, but right now we are going to be concerning ourselves about this particular sheet. So right now I'm going to say dot shapes. So I will explain this to you what I'm doing right now. So now this double quotation, I'm going to drop this, I copy from that other part of it, and I'm going to close. So right now what I'm trying to do, if I minimize this and go right here, I'm going to actually say, okay, go to page layout, and from page layout I'm going to select the selection panel, and right here I have this particular, for now let me have this closed, I don't need it. So I have this shape here, this shape that hosts our tooltip here named. So and every single time I actually click on this eye, it go off. So now this shape is hosting a lot, so it's the one hosting revenue and profit and all that, but image. So those are everything we have right there. If I keep turning them off, you can see they are disappearing, but we don't want to do that. So right now we now have it named as William panel. So if we go back to our if we go back to this, so now we are trying to say now dot shape, we are saying there is a shape inside this active sheet name William panel. So if the shape right now, so if the shape dot visible, so equal to true, if the visibility of the shape is equal to true now, which means before the visibility of the shape is going to be equal to true, it is when we hover over it. So we're going to hover over this image, then it will be true. Now we're going to create another condition whereby we're going to just copy this away from here. I'm going to copy and I'm going to just go down and drop this. All I need to change right here is this to false. So that is exactly what we need to do, and we're going to change this right here to tooltip, William tooltip show, and this one is going to be William tooltip hide. So now this is going to hide it. So now look at the logic behind it right now. When we hover over this, it actually shows. When we bring it down, it hides. So let's see how we can create something that is going to actually help us to work this out. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to actually copy this away from here. So because this is the show aspect, we want to see how we can play around with this. So I'm going to really minimize this. So because I have something created right here before, I can actually hover over it, and now I can actually double click it. It's going to open me in that place where I can actually paste this code. So right now, if you can have this right now, if you're following along, so if you have this, what you're going to do right now is just to go to this particular click and turn it to what? Mouse move. Exactly, this is what it gives to you. So you can actually have this deleted, you don't need it any longer. So right now that it gives you this, just paste the code you have created right here. That is exactly what it is. Now we are doing on page on sheet on sheet cutting. So you don't need to write anything right here. All you need to do, whatever it is, just copy it and paste it right here and change what we have right to what on a mouse move. Now exactly this is what we want. So if I actually minimize this right now, and let's see if this is working for us. So it's not really working right now. The reason why is that it is on design mode. So go back to the top level right here and actually click on this developer. I can see it's on design mode. Make sure you turn it off from design mode to non-design mode. So right now if I select this, it's open because we have it open already. So right now we can't really sure if this is working for us. Right now I can actually go ahead and turn it off, and if I hover over this, it turns back on. If I go right here and turn this off, if I hover over this, it turns on. Already you've just created a tooltip, but there is one thing left. Let me show you how that can actually be achieved. Don't turn it off for now. I can go to the top and put it on a design mode. The reason why I'm going to put it on a design mode is because I want to work on it. So I put it on design mode and I come right here, I click on this, I can have access to it. Now I can just duplicate this, right? So if I have it duplicated, I'm gonna bring this down and gonna actually have to make sure I fit it in right here. Exactly, this is what it is. So we have the second one right here, which is our label 2. Now what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to double click on this. So it's going to give me another private sub right here. So I don't need this private sub. What I'm going to do right now, have the private sub still here. Go to what, instead of click, go to what, mouse move again. So without still need this again, we can actually remove it away from here. So now what we're going to do is just we're going to paste the same tool we have again. So right now, if you don't forget, I have this one to be what, hide. So let's see where we have it. So I can click on this. Remember, we are on dashboard, on the sheet on dashboard. So just click on this particular workspace. So now we have this one to be hide. So we have this one to be show and we have this to be hide. So I can go to my dashboard right here and it's showing the same thing. So if I go right here right now, let's see if this is working. If I hover over this, it's not really working. Why? Is because it's on design mode. So we are designing right now. We make design mode active. So what we can do is just to go back to the top level right here and actually take it away from design mode. So we're going to turn it off. So we've turned it off from design mode. So right now, let's see. Aren't it working? Exactly, it's really working. This is exactly what you really want to see, right? This is exactly what it is. So you can actually replicate this for other images, which I'm not going to show you how to do. The one that is a little bit complicated is actually this particular aspect right here, because it's going to actually fool the whole screen. But how are you going to turn it off? So I'm going to show you how to do this right now. So right now we can actually see also, right? Now every single time we hover over this, we can see this is actually turned on. If we hover over this particular aspect, everything here got turned off. So now this is exactly what it is. So the next we're going to be going through right now is to go through this particular aspect right here. So let me show you how to do this. If you look at what we have right here right now, we have these particular categories. We have technology, we have fashion, office supplies, and we have furniture. So we want every single time we hover over this, something like this that I'm going to actually show you right now should actually pop up like this. But how are we going to do it? To actually, when we hover out of this particular aspect of this particular range here, it should actually stop here. How do we do that? It's very simple. Let me have this closed for now. So what we're going to do right now, we have this. So now that we have this, what we're going to do is just for it to come to the top level right here and actually still do the same procedure, but this time around is going to be a little bit different. So you have to watch this to the end, else if you try to do this, you're going to actually flop and it's not going to work out for you. So I'm going to pick this away from here right now, and I'm going to go right here. I'm going to actually drop it down, and now I can make sure I take it down to this end. Okay, fine. That we have this. I'm gonna have to duplicate this and actually bring this one to this particular aspect here. Okay, have this here, and what next we need to do is just to duplicate this again, and I'm gonna bring this to the center right now. So if I bring it to the center, what I'm going to do right now is just to actually make sure I bring this down. So exactly, so I'm gonna stretch it to this end, and I'm gonna stretch this to this particular end as well. So now that okay, fine. Now that we've done something like this, so what we need to do is just to go back and do the same procedure we've actually done before, but something is different, so you have to watch to the end, else if you try to create your own dashboard, you'll have a problem. So click on this one as well to have this particular label removed. So we don't need this label 3 right here, we don't need it, so we have to remove it. So we have to get this one removed as well. So just click on it and I have it removed. So now that we have it removed, before we go ahead and do anything else, so what we're going to do right now is just to make sure we work on this. So the same thing we've done in the like the previous one, it's still the same thing we're going to be doing right now. So I'm going to actually have to make sure I select this and select this. Make sure you select the three of them together at the same time and just follow the same procedure I'm following. So now click on it and actually have it grouped. So now that we have it grouped together, I can actually click on this particular aspect. The whole dashboard has been clicked. I'm going to group them together. I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this in a jiffy. So now I have them grouped together. So now they are grouped together right now. So you can see they are all grouped together. They can move at the same time. So right now, here we go. Fine. So what we're gonna do right now is for we to go back to our Visual Basics. So it's gonna be very much easy. So right now I'm gonna click on this module we have created. So now what I'm gonna do is just to copy this whole and actually duplicate this. So I told you we don't have to write this code over and over again. So all I'm gonna do is just to click at the top right here, and I'm gonna actually select this particular one. So now what I'm gonna do now is I don't have to write this from the scratch again. This where's category. I can just double click on it and actually have it copied, or if I feel like you can write it, then go ahead and go to the Visual Basic and I have it written here. So this time around I'm gonna shift it a little bit. You can see what I'm writing. So it's where's category. So make sure you're writing it correctly. This time around I'm gonna say where's underscore category. So where's category. So I've just done this rightly, and I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna give this one to this aspect right here, Ctrl V. So right now, instead of us to actually use the name of the sales regional manager, so I'm gonna use the where's to replace this, and I'm gonna replace this with where's. I'm gonna replace this. So right now I'm gonna actually have to say or hide. So for the hide, I'm gonna copy this one away from here. If I copy it, I'm gonna go down, and now I'm gonna have to close this for now. We don't need it yet, but we're still gonna need it, but not really now. So now here we go. We want to actually hide this. As soon as we hide it, that is all. So we want to bring it back. We can create something that's gonna help us to bring it back. I can actually double click on this. So now that I have it double clicked done, so what I'm going to do is just to follow the same procedure to change this, and after changing this, place it right here. So just go and actually have to get this off, and now we go right here, click on this, double click on it, and actually follow the same procedure, and actually say on the move, mouse move, have this here, copy it to not to let it look kind of weird. So now we click on this one, and here is being highlighted. So just double click on it, and we have something like this again. So we go ahead and say okay, on the mouse move, and we have it pasted. And this time around I'm going to get this away from here. So this is exactly what it is. So now if I cannot minimize this, I can actually come right here and go to what this particular show this modern design mode. I'm gonna deselect it, and I'm gonna click right here. Now something is wrong, so let us see what the heck is wrong. Okay, if I say okay, it's gonna say dot shape where's category. Something is really wrong here, so let us go and look at the kind of weird we've written. If the spelling is not the same thing, something's gonna happen. So let's see how we can correct that. So the weirds we are having right here, is it the same thing with the weirds we are having right here? If no, we just have to make changes. So weirds is spelled as W-A-R-E-S. So here is W-E-A-R-S. So we have to change something here. It's E-A-R-S. So it's gonna be W-E-A-R. Sorry. E-A-R-S. So now we can see, let's run this again and see if this works. Okay, we can run this now. Where the heck is going on? So we don't have anything to bother us. So if I hover over this, it's not really working. So we can go back and see what it is that is going the problem. So because we still have this highlighted, so what we need to do right now is to run the code directly from here for the first time. So we have it run, so we debug and see where we still have a problem. So I think everything is okay, so let us run the code again and see. Now this time around, let's see if it is working. Yeah, it's really working for us. So now I can actually go and put it on, and I can hide this away from here. So now it's on. Everything is really working fine right now. So what we need to do is just to create something that's going to actually help us to get it back right here. So everything is working fine and well. So you can see individually we can bring them up. You can see everything can come up just live and all of that. So right now what we need to do right now is to create something that's going to actually help us to bring them together. So if I turn this on, everything is up. So if I just hover over this, it disappears. Exactly, this is what it is that we really want to show. So let us create something that's going to actually have us to disappear. So what we're showing right now is actually what we are showing for, what we are showing for fashion. So now to create that, so we can actually go ahead and create something here where we go right here. So here, so for fashion, we're gonna actually make sure it's on this. So now we have something created right here for fashion. So we can go to the top and take this particular property, and for fashion I'm gonna remove this away from here. So we take this away from here, and we're gonna double click on this, and we have something like this. So can double click on this right now, and what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna go right here and say okay, take it off. So we have to copy this tooltip we have right here, and we copy this out, we bring it down here. So now what we need to do is just to turn this to show. So turn this to show, exactly, that is what it is. So let us run it and see if this is really working. So if I hover over it, I have something like this. So now if I actually go play around with this, nothing is happening, it can't disappear. But immediately I just hover over this, it disappears. This is exactly what we want to see. Now I hover over this again, so between here, because it's actually on top of here right now, it's not gonna work, but immediately I just hover out of it, it's actually gonna go. So right now let's see what we can do to actually make this one to be some kind of, I think I've shown you how to do this, everybody can do this right now. So just click on this, and right now I'm gonna go back to this particular top and bring up the property, and make sure we double click on this. So once we double click on this, it's gonna actually yeah, I know it's something like it's gonna happen. So now it's highlighted, so I'm gonna double click on this, it goes, click on this, so double click here, so click on this, it's now clean. So this is exactly what we need to do to actually create something like this. So go back and actually deselect this particular design mode, and now we have some Excel dashboard created. So when we hover over this, it's gonna give us what we really want, just like the previous one we've actually seen, which is this particular one we have designed from the scratch. So now it's exactly what we need to actually know, and how we shall actually create a very amazing dashboard that looks like what it is that Power BI Tableau can do. So now Excel can do the same thing with just a few codes. We are done with it. So all you need to do is just to share this with your friends and all your families that is actually using Excel. It's good for them to show more details about your dashboard, about your data and stuff like that. So right now let us concentrate on how we can actually create something like this. It will be very nice for which you know how to create something like this. So now it's showing trend on a monthly basis based on every regions we have right on this particular data set. So I'm gonna go back right here, go back here, and here we go. Now we hit back again. So what we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna go to my analysis, or go to the data for the first time. So click on data, and here we go. So the data, we're going to click on this particular insert, and now we're going to hit on this particular pivot table. And once we hit on pivot table, don't use the new workbook, because we're going to be using existing one. But if you are creating this for a manager or for a client, please use the new workbook for every pivot table you want to insert. You need to make sure you insert a new worksheet. So now here we go. I'm going to drop it right here. Now we got this. So what we are trying to do is to show that on a monthly basis. I'm going to drop my month right here, and I'm going to actually look for my region, a column. So the column for region is right here. So we got it. So now what we're going to do is to show revenue by region in this particular aspect. So right now we're going to display this on the line chart. So let's see what goes right there. Now we select a line chart, and the line chart is going to show us something like this. Exactly, this is what we've gotten right there that we just shown. So we can remove anything extra. So take this off as well, take the total off, because we have a label for it as well before now. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to go to the top level right here and hit on analyze. From analyze, I'm going to go to this fields button. So you click on hide. Everything is hidden. That is exactly what we need to do. So we can actually make sure we make it smaller. So click on it and make it smaller. So exactly, something like this looks very nice. So we can get it to a dashboard right now. So before we get to a dashboard, if you look at it, it's some kind of weird. It's showing us some the central sound and stuff like that. So what we need to do is just to interchange them on for a region. So now we have something like this. This is look a little bit okay, or this is even okay, not a little bit okay. So we can click on this to remove the grid line, and now we can actually decide to actually take it off from here down to a dashboard. So here we go, we click on the dashboard and we click right here, we have it pasted. Now we are gonna have something very awesome. So we have that taken away. So I can now double click inside right here, and I'm gonna turn this particular background color off. I'm gonna say turn off, and I'm gonna say turn off. So now we have to concern ourselves about this particular color we have right here. So I'm gonna go right to the top level and change the color of the labeling. So we have this color. Yeah, we have something like this. I think it's cool. So right now, maybe you want to choose the two color for it. All you need to do is just to click on this particular line chart and come to this gradient line. So we go like this. So we can actually remove some steps. I'm gonna take off 2 steps away from here. So 2 steps have been off. So right now what we need to do is just to turn this particular one to any color of your choice. So now we can actually go for this particular color. So we are good to go. I think we have something nicely like this. So right now what we're trying to show right here is actually the most profitable product and most selling product. So let me show you 2 different things right here. The most profitable product is not the most selling product, and the most selling product is not the most profitable product. So how can we find that? It's very easy and very simple. Let me show you how we can actually find it right now. So what you can do right now, I'm going to actually cancel this away from here. So now to find the most profitable product, so what we need to do is just to go back right to the analyze, and now we don't have to reinvent the wheel again. I'm just going to copy the previous pivot table we have right here and have it dropped here, and we go. So now all we need to do is just to change this. Instead of to go back to the data set, so we just have to change something from here. So I'm going to take this away. So now we have a fresh pivot table drop down. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to actually bring my product name. So these are the product, and these are the revenue. So now that we have the revenue right here, so what I'm going to do is just for me to actually filter to the top one, which is going to give me the most selling product. Just one product that is selling most is going to give it to me. So now we have this. Okay, this is the one product that is selling so much. So if I copy this away from here, now we go drop this down. What we need to do to get the top selling product, not most profitable. So now under revenue, this is selling well. Under most selling, so what we need to do, we don't get this, we get the quantity being sold. So you just need to do that by quantity. And now if we share this, I'm going to show you something right now. If I go by this and show it by top quantity by 1, so we just take it to 1 and we have it. Okay, now what we have chain, right? So we have how many quantities being sold. So now if we come right here and actually select the quantity and drop it down right here, you can see we're gonna be having something differently. So we have to do something. Okay, fine, I'm gonna take this off for now just to show you the difference. Let me just actually insert more column. So right now I think I can see the difference clear. So now if I drop this right here, you see the quantity being sold, and the most profitable product is actually 37303. And for this particular the most selling and the most profitable, they have a lot of difference. This is 39795. Now you can see what it is that we have actually done. So I'm not gonna go ahead and do that. So what I want to show you that is very much important is for me to actually show you how to create all this particular aspect right here. So what I really want to show you is to show you how to create this particular aspect right here that helps you to look at this particular it says regional manager and get more detail about him and all of that. But right now you can see the most profitable product is not the most selling product, so the most selling product is not the most profitable product and all of that. So we've shown all that. So now watch video number 1 to understand everything that actually happened right here, and now you can create a tooltip successfully. So if you want to watch this again, really, you can rewatch this over and over again until you get it right. Please do share this video to people. let them feel the particular way of creating my new way of creating Excel dashboard. I have more amazing dashboard to come, so all you just gotta do is to be my subscriber. If you're my subscriber, we can actually make a very cool dashboard in no time. There are more and more dashboard to come. So thanks for watching, thanks for staying with me. Stay safe and stay blessed.